And welcome to the show. I am Bill Knapik, sitting in for Kevin Price. So glad to be here and honored to sit in the fabulous Penthouse Studios right here. And we're glad you joined us, everyone. We have a great show today. As always, we have a great guest, the Price of Business. You always enjoy the guest, the variety. And I'm going to go first off with our very first guest. His name is Matt Stanley, and he is the CEO of an organization called Sundance Memory Care. Matt, good morning and welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Bill. How you doing, sir?
It is great here. And I'll tell Matt, you're doing such good work with Sundance Memory Care. Let's tell people what your organization does.
Sure. Sundance Memory Care exists to kind of ease the burden of those walking through the journey of dementia, Alzheimer's being the greatest form of dementia. We build standalone, private pay Alzheimer's dementia communities in and around Texas, a couple in Houston, some in Austin, started off in East Texas, and our job is just to love on you while you're going through this journey and provide really specific, hyper-focused care on Alzheimer's care, Huntington's, Parkinson's, Lewy bodies, various forms of dementia, but just want to walk together with our residents and with their loved ones and families as well.
And that is such a trying time for both the person that is going through this and, as you mentioned, their loved ones. And let's just stop right there. You mentioned, of course, Alzheimer's. People think of diminished memory with Alzheimer's first and foremost, but there are other conditions that exist, and you kind of mentioned them, and I don't know if everyone caught that, but there are other considerations and other forms of diminished memory that you are serving those people, right?
Absolutely. So there's various forms of dementia, and so Alzheimer's typically is the largest form of dementia that you would normally see. But there are certain things like Huntington's or Lewy bodies or vascular dementia or reverse dementia. So there's, I don't have enough time to list them all, but there's like 75 plus forms of dementia. Alzheimer's is just the main that works with diminished memories and kind of reverts back a little bit.
It definitely gets the main attention. But in the meantime, Sundance Memory Cares, what you do is very distinctive, because when you use the word hyper-focus on serving the people with diminished memory, some of everything about your facilities is tuned in to help them with memory problems. I mean, it is everything down to the handrails and the floors and everything about the building and your personnel, right? Tell people about that.
Yes, sir. So we wanted to be very specific. Watching my own family and my uncle's father just really struggle with finding the right kind of care for his own journey was really tough, and it pulled at every single one of our heartstrings at Sundance. And so when I say hyper-focused, you're exactly right when you talk about that. Every little detail we try to maintain, brain activity, brain function, activities, something that's going to be designed around someone that has Alzheimer's or may have another form of dementia. We want to make sure that whether it's how the handrails are sanded down, how the carpet transitions to hardwood floors, how you create less of a fall risk from one floor surface to another, the amount of natural light coming into it, all the way down to our caregivers, making sure that we're educating and training and building out the proper curriculum for our folks inside the community as well as outside of the community. And a lot of our job, the caregiving staff, is to say we want to train specifically in dementia-specific training and education, so that when you come to a Sundance Memory Care community, you understand that there's independent living, there's assisted living, there's skilled nursing, there's so many different types of care communities in and around the country, but we focus strictly on that dementia and Alzheimer's. A lot of our training and our background is all based in that. So that's really what we do. We want to do it really well. We've actually been voted best in senior housing in Houston the last 2 years in a row because I think that we are so dementia specific. So everybody from the director to me, to our caregivers and staff, maintenance folks, they understand how the brain functions and how Alzheimer's can impact not only our residents who live with us, but also the families outside who are coming to see their mom or dad or their husband or their spouse. And so a lot of it's education with them as well. So yes, sir, extremely hyper-focused.
And as you mentioned, the focus that you have, it's important, and also because sometimes people with diminished memory end up in long-term care facilities where they're mixed in with people that just have different needs. So the specialization of the diminished memory gets kind of lost, and they're not really served properly. Is that right?
It can be. I want to make sure that a lot of our folks and a lot of our neighbors and a lot of our colleagues, we're all working really, really hard, whether it's Sundance or somebody else that's running an assisted living or Alzheimer's community, working really hard to love on each one of our folks, because it's difficult to be the primary caregiver. But being super focused on dementia and Alzheimer's and what we do, I think really separates us from the pack, in the fact that sometimes you can get lost. Sometimes, having cross-training can be hard to keep up with. Having a full gamut of care spectrums across the board, from independent living all the way to Alzheimer's care, sometimes people get lost in the mix. And so we certainly don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that we're loving on your family just the way that you would love on them, and get to know them. So we're a little bit smaller. We're 48 beds instead of, a larger 120, 80, 90-bed community. So it allows us to have a little bit more intimate care, a little bit more intentional, purposeful pursuit in helping restore dignity that's still there.
And, of course, people can find out more, Matt, at sundancememorycare.com. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And also for the Houston listeners, Matt, some of the let's tell them about the Katy location and what you're doing there. And also you have a new location opening up soon.
Absolutely. So we opened up our Katy community a couple years ago. We're right there off of Wood Creek Bend Lane and Katy Llewellyn Drive, right there over by Wood Creek Reserve in Katy, Texas, right off I-10. And then we're building our second community in Houston. They're in Cypress, out there off of 290 and Grand Parkway. That should be open end of September, first part of October. So we're about 60% finished with construction, but looking forward to really serving the Cypress community out there in the surrounding areas, and looking forward to continuing to serve in the Katy area as well.
And, of course, SundanceMemoryCare.com. In the last minute, Matt, what else would you like people to know about Sundance Memory Care?
I would just say that, we are intentionally pursuing to ease this burden. We call it a walk together. We want to restore dignity. There are many, many people walking through this disease that don't know where to go, how to ask questions, are a little bit embarrassed or ashamed maybe to ask questions, and we're here to walk together with you through that. So there's no wrong questions, there's no wrong answers. It's just a tough journey. So there's a lot of dignity and purpose left in all of these lives that we want to try and impact. And it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to come and say, hey, can you walk through this with me? Because that's what we're here for. At the end of the day, we're about faith, family, fellowship, and forward thinking. That's the cornerstone of our business. We want to do life together, and we want to be progressive in our thinking so that we provide the right kind of care all the time.
Very nice, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Stanley with Sundance Memory Care. Thank you, Matt, for being on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And once again, you're listening to The Price of Business. Bill Knapik sitting in for Kevin Price. Stay tuned. We're coming back with even more. Stay tuned.